Hi guys. So I guess probably a couple weeks ago I decided that I was going to video my IVF experience. I do get a lot of questions about it, and I don't feel like people really understand what you go through in order to have a potential successful pregnancy. Just to give you a little bit of background, we have a daughter, Lennox, born August 18th, 2016, and we did IVF for her. We did egg retrieval in November, December 2015, and we placed two fresh embryos in, and one survived, being Lenny, and we had three embryos left over from that egg retrieval and frozen. This past year in December, we transferred one of those embryos. It didn't take. And then we transferred another one in January. It didn't take. And then we transferred another in February, and it took. I think 2 or 3 days after we found out that I was pregnant, I started hemorrhaging, and we rushed back to the clinic, in which I was told I had something called a subchorionic hematoma, which is where you have like a pool of blood growing between your developing baby and your uterus wall. And so I was highly monitored for that development. And I was going in every 5 to 7 days to check on that. And I was put on not complete bed rest, but like no physical activity, which obviously I'm a tennis coach. For those of you that don't know, I had to take a leave from work. So we were being highly monitored for that. And around my week 10 scan, they started to notice that something just wasn't right with the fetus. They saw something that they thought was called, like, I don't know the proper terminology, but basically the intestines growing outside the body of the baby. And so they asked us to come back another week because they weren't sure what they were seeing. And we came back, and there was really no change. And they were talking about just like the smallest speck that they could see. So they said, let's wait one more week. And so we came back again, and I think that was week 12, yeah. And they decided to send us off to genetics prenatal doctor. So we arrived there on Friday, April 27th, and right away they just looked at all of the information that my fertility clinic had sent to them and delivered the heartbreaking news that our baby was not developed, basically. There was no brain forming, no skull, ligaments were missing, and obviously the heart, we found out that day, the heart and intestines were growing on the outside. So with that being said, to give you some history of the week 5 to week 12 and a half at this point, I was really sick. I was really miserable, and there was also concern that the baby was making me sick. There was like an infection that was causing all of this. So they wanted to schedule a D&C as soon as possible. And they let us know that if I continued to carry the baby, one, it was going to pass away in utero in the next few weeks, or I could potentially carry it to term and give birth to something that would be dead already. It would die immediately upon birth. No brain, it would just have a heartbeat. Obviously, we were shattered. It was probably one of the harder things that we've been through. Sorry. It's one of those things where you work so hard to try to get pregnant, and to be delivered that kind of blow after just feeling so joyful to be carrying another child again. So we went in for a D&C on May 1st, and we delivered another baby girl, and we named her Marlo May. And to fast forward to today, it is June, and we are in midst of our second round of IVF. So I'm currently on a birth control, and basically they put you on that the month leading up to your egg retrieval to flatline your hormones, to gain control of your uterus and your ovaries. And now I take that straight through until our meeting with our doctor and our team on July 5th, where we will have our needle demonstration again and be given all of our future dates for the egg retrieval, embryo transfer, and hopefully potential pregnancy test. So that's where we are right now. And I'm going to keep video logging and taking you through this journey with me. And I just hope to give you a glimmer into the reality of IVF.